Nothing less than pure fishing machine in every detail. In fact, the Beavertail line of skiffs stands alone among the competition. Versatile power, a wealth of options, impeccable build and finish quality, and unparalleled shallow water performance make Beavertail the choice of the world's most discerning shallow water fishermen. Of course, words mean nothing if they are not reinforced by a living reality. Hype is common in the skiff industry. Living up to it is what sets Beavertail apart.
Most of the people that are buying technical skiffs today are well educated. They know what's going on in the marketplace. They read Shallow Water Angler. They're on the forums. They understand what's going on. We made a boat that not only pulls good and runs skinny, but it runs without a tunnel. And we can run in places that most people could never run unless they had a tunnel. We'll talk about some of those things that we did to the bottom of our hull that make it different and that will actually outperform 100% of the skiffs on the market today. If you go apples to apples, same size engine, same size boat, we will run skinnier, pull skinnier, and get up shallower. The Beavertail skiff, you talk about a poling machine. Here's a boat that weighs, depending on whether it's a bare bones, whether it's the new center console or whether it's our existing side console, you're talking about a boat that weighs from 475 pounds to 575 pounds. You can pull this thing with one hand. You can pull this thing into a headwind, side wind. You see a lot of new skiffs on the market, and I think one of the things that people don't understand is they keep trying to build freeboard higher and higher and higher on their boats. But because we leave our freeboard at 16 inches, it doesn't blow off. So if you're pulling and you got the wind coming on your quartering you, or if it's coming onto your starboard side or port, whichever way you're going, on a real light boat that has a lot of freeboard, it ends up drifting off on you. This boat will never do that. We also put a little bit of dead rise in the bottom of our boat now so that it really tracks good. And if you've ever had an opportunity to pull our boat, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The towers are a question that we often get too about why we placed our towers where we do. As you notice, we probably have our tower further up than anybody that makes a technical skiff. And it's just physics. That's all it is. You know, there's nothing more to it. We don't think it looks cooler up there or any less cool up there. We can't forget what we built this skiff for originally. The skiff was made to go in shallow water, be quiet, pole easy, light, don't blow off, run shallow, get up skinny. That's what we built it for the guys out there that said, that's my criteria. And that's what we did it for. So when we moved the poling platform up, it was because we wanted to give that boat ballast and make sure that it didn't draft an inch more than we wanted it to. The stability of the Beavertail skiff is a question that we get asked. It's amazing how stable this boat is for having a 72-inch beam. You can walk the gunnels front to back. It's not going to dip a corner in. You can land a fish on the side of your boat without worried about falling out. It's tremendously stable. One of the questions we get about our boat is how dry a ride it is. Take a minute, look at our website, and take a look at the design of the hull. It's obvious. When you've got massive reverse chines like we do, and you've got a rolled edge like we do, now you take a look at any other skiff on the market. If it doesn't have some of those attributes, it's not going to be dry. It's not going to take the water and shoot it down. You get in a following sea or a quartering sea or a head sea or in the trough, you're going to get wet in other skiffs. This boat, I promise you, will be one of the driest rides you have ever had in your life, and it's inherent of the hull. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. It takes the water, runs it up the side of the hull, and shoots it right back down. A lot of folks, I don't know if they know what a no-slap hull is until they've heard a no-slap hull, till they've heard nothing but silence when they cut through the water. Whether they're pulling into a little bit of a head sea, quartering, it doesn't matter. If it's just a little rip on the top of the water, it doesn't matter. This is the quietest poling skiff that has ever been made. Take a ride, take the challenge, get in one of our skiffs and pole it. And you'll find out what every customer of ours has found out, that it is absolutely the quietest skiff they have ever owned. One of the questions that we get a lot also is, what type of motors can we run on it? What kind of motors come factory installed? When E-Tech came out, Yamaha was out there, Mercury was out there. Everybody was kind of going to 4-strokes, which are great motors. But E-Tech came up with a motor, a 40, a 50, and a 60, all weighed the same, 228 pounds. So what we did was we took the E-Tech propeller and said, all right, that's good, but it's not working for what we want it to do on our skiffs. So we took that propeller to Randy Pearson, who owns GPI International. He used to be in the race business and still is, and said, Randy, we need a prop that gets this thing out of the hole. I want to be able to start my jack plate on 6. I want to be able to maybe put a guy in the front, trim it up a little bit, and see if I can get out of the hole in a foot of water. Everybody that runs a shallow water skiff is still trying to fix their props. But because we had Randy and a crew that could design a prop, we took and made a prop for ourselves. It's a custom Beavertail prop, and this prop will absolutely dominate any prop that you can buy over the counter today. That prop, with a large hub 40, 50, or 60 E-Tech, will have a hole shot that is beyond comparison to anybody, and you don't need a tunnel hull. I think this summer, if you saw us introduce the bare bones skiff, you saw us running one of our large hub props, over half of it out of the water, still maintained all our speed, and still had 20 to 22 pounds of water pressure in, without a tunnel in this. So you can run this thing over 4 to 6 inches of water. So when you talk about performance, Yamaha's great. We'll factory install them if you want. Mercury's a great motor. But for what we're looking to do, shallow water, that means I got to get up shallow, I got to run shallow. And I got to be economical. You know, I could go on forever about the E-Tech and the technology. It's more economical than the 4-strokes. It has less emissions. It has a better warranty than the Yamaha or the Mercury. And they're all fine products. But I'm just saying, in today's world, the technology that E-Tech has put in those motors, for what we do, it's a perfect match for us. Some of you have seen the original B1s and saw a really inexpensive, lightweight skiff. It had a good fit and finish, and it was a good boat for the money. But as we got feedback from our customers, we decided that, you know, maybe there's some things that we can do to continue to perfect this skiff. I challenge you today to come and see us at a show. I challenge you to look underneath our gunnels, look in our boxes. We literally built molds for every part of that boat. You've got a front storage compartment that has a 15-gallon fuel tank in it now, that actually has places for your trolling motor batteries. It's got a place for your recharging system that all comes on standard if you buy a trolling motor package. You look inside there, there's nothing nicer than to look in a boat, and it's all, what's the first thing everybody does when they go look at a boat? They go looking through the hatches. It's all finished. We don't use paint and fiberglass to finish off the inside of our boat. We did originally. It just did not meet our standards. And I don't know how else to put it, but this didn't meet our standards. We're going to continue to grow this business and make the finest shallow water skiff at any price. We want this boat to be better than anybody on the market. And like I said, you'll see us at some shows. Stop by, ask us, look inside this boat. We've got to be the only company that's ever put a skin insert inside of a boat that doesn't have a floor. Our skin is part of the bottom of our boat. There's 1.25 inches of core that's vacuum infused inside this boat, and then a skin that goes over the top of it. And what it leaves you is an immaculate finish in the inside of that boat, completely finished, no fiberglass lines, no nothing. Don't have to paint it, don't have to worry about repainting it, don't have to put non-skid in it. It's completely smooth and cleanable. And the fit and finish on these boats, if you look at where the non-skid meets the flat, smooth fiberglass, it's all sanded. All of our hinges are recessed. All of our bolts that we use are hex head bolts. We use very few Phillips. We do use some of them to mount our plates up in front from Minn Kota. That's what they suggest using. But the rest of them, we use all 3/16 hex heads. That's the kind of workmanship you're going to see with the Beavertail skiff. And if you've been keeping track of our website, you can see the dramatic changes that we've made from the original B1. The process that we use to build our hulls on our skiffs is quite technical. As a matter of fact, we flew in the companies that vacuum infuse and trained all of our people how to do it and how to do it correctly. So we use a vacuum infused process. We use a Clegicell, Baltex Airlight core. We use a couple different types of cores, and we use a quad axial matting, which is a multi-directional fiber orientation on your glass. Extremely hard to work with, but the finished product is phenomenal, and I got the right people putting it together. One of the things that I just don't want to deal with in the future, all I ever want to hear from a customer after he purchases a skiff is how much he's enjoying it with his family and his friends. Send me an email, give me a call. I don't want them calling up and saying, I've got some hull problems, I've got delamination problems, those type things. You know, in 120 skiffs that we've produced, custom skiffs for our customers, we have not had one hull failure. And that says a lot about the vacuum infusing process that we use. One of my favorite parts about the boat is the wiring. You know, if you have an opportunity to come to one of the shows that we're doing, come and take a look at the wiring in our boat. I promise you it will exceed all of your expectations, and if you look around, it will exceed everybody else's wiring in any boat, anywhere that you can find. It is absolutely phenomenal how Kevin takes care of the wiring systems on these boats. It's easy, it's simple, it's clean, and it meets Coast Guard and ABYC standards. You know, every skiff that's under 20 feet doesn't have to be certified by the Coast Guard, but it has to meet Coast Guard guidelines. It's a book about that thick, and it's a difficult read, but you can call the Coast Guard and find out what you're supposed to do. What we did, we went a step further, and we voluntarily took a boat out to Maryland and had the Coast Guard test our boats. And I'm happy to say that every Beavertail skiff that comes off our production line has been tested and certified by the Coast Guard of the United States. And it is something that gives you confidence as an owner when your family's in there or when you're out and it gets rough, that this boat's going to get you there, it's going to get you safe, you're not going to have wiring problems, you're not going to have flotation problems. And the fact of the matter is that not many companies take the boat to Maryland. That was mentioned to us by the Coast Guard themselves. You know, they look through the book and try to make sure that they've got everything covered, but we went one step further and went to Maryland and got certified by the Coast Guard. A lot of folks give us a call in the office and they want to know where they can go see the boat or what dealership they can stop by and take a look at. Well, first of all, we don't have dealers. We don't have dealers because of the price point. We're talking about a fully loaded boat from Beavertail from anywhere from depending on the model, from $17,000 up to $25,000, depending on how loaded. That same boat at a dealership would be anywhere from $35,000 to $40,000. It's not about that. We want to take care of the customer personally, and that's why we hand deliver the boats, and that's why we take care of the customers ourselves and don't expect the dealers to know what we do about these skiffs. So if you want to take a test ride, you simply call us. We'll find somebody for you. It's a very simple process.
For Beavertail Manufacturing, I'm Mark Fisher. Thanks for joining us. If you've got any questions about what you've seen today, feel free to visit our website or call us up at the office. We know your time is valuable, and we appreciate you taking the time to watch this DVD. From north to south, east to west, tight lines to you, and we hope to see you out there.
Danny, where's Danny at? Hey, Dan? Yeah, he was under the boat.